Ice cold Tuscaloosa tonight, where the fans were flooding in 2 hours before tip. That's what happens when you knock out a top 10 Kentucky team in Rupp Arena a couple of days ago. And so what is next for these fourth-ranked Crimson Tide? A quality Vanderbilt club with a 15-3 mark as well is coming into town flying high after a huge win for the Commodores a couple of days ago. More on that in a moment. He is Richard Hendricks. That is
He's been shooting the ball very well and creating for others, but on the other side, Jason Edwards, a dynamic guard who can do it all, crafty.
Richard, we got two of the top 10 scorers in the SEC going head-to-head, and a big one for both clubs in many different ways. Mark Sears with the first attack towards the rim. His left-hand layup was no go. He, of course, is the leading scorer in that Alabama starting five. Meanwhile, on the other end, it's Edwards who goes for about 17 a game. He's got it right here. One in the black. A.J. Hoggard is their very reliable point guard, number 11. And so Edwards gets us started here with a savvy step back.
Jason Edwards getting off to a hot start already. You see his ability to finish there in the mid-range.
A little more efficient shooting the last few days. He had 18 in that Tennessee win. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's Jaron Stevenson. So nice to see him get an early win. Gets the Vanderbilt drop, and he has totally overhauled this program. 15 wins, basically doubling up their win total from a season ago when things bottomed out. This is A.J. Hoggard keeping that pivot foot. Very strong rebounder on the back end there. Devin McLaughlin collects. High off the glass, there's the rookie LeBaron Philon. Looked like that one was partially tipped. And so Vandy's on the move. Ball has been in Edwards' hands basically every time down to start. Edwards throws in the three.
He's a confident shooter.
To the board. Numbers here. Edwards with a little hesitation. Edwards couldn't lay it in. Here's Mark Sears, All-American, lobs it up. Hey, with the throwdown.
Great find there by Mark Sears. He's been
Mignon, who just checked in for Vanderbilt, got his hands on it. Oh, don't leave open. Vanderbilt's most reliable three-point shooter, that's Nickel. They get a new 20. Nickel rejected by Philon. The rookie sends it back.
A little taste of the freshman's ability to rise up top with the rejection.
So Philon, perhaps feeling it, has it here. Alabama down 3 early minutes in what could be a very fun battle against Vandy. Count the basket and the foul. We're all going to put the work in it, and at any time, anybody's number can be injury in September, so just a couple of months before the season started. So he's getting his comfort underneath him. Sears, backdoor cut, left the floater short. Alabama gets another look, and it is Mo Diabate, their X-factor off the bench, puts the Tide ahead.
Instant impact. Mo Diabate does all of the dirty work for this Alabama team, and once again, he checks right in and makes his presence known.
Gets those blue-collar points. Oh, nice drive. Jalen Carey, pardon me. So he is picking up right where he left off with the double-double Saturday. Diabate barges right in, and he gets the foul.
That's a matchup right there. Two physical players, Diabate and Carey, going at it. As you mentioned, Carey starting to play high-level basketball.
In his sophomore season, the Queens native, Nate Oates likes to
say is that player for Alabama. When you play games that can teams play a slower pace, that can play a lot more physical, Nate Oates knows he can put them in the game and make a difference.
How about that? The offensive board leads to the trip.
Head coach Mark Byington knows that Alabama can get off to. When they get into spurts, this is the point of the game that Vanderbilt is going to have to make a response.
Carey trying to do that. He's spitting on the freshman, and he draws the foul. So Sherrill
per game, 50% from 2 and 40 from 3, and gets to the final.
And Richard, you just saw the bottom right there is now said when Alabama goes on that run, can you basically snap it quickly?
Well, Carey was able to get to the free throw line with his physicality that he had on Aiden Sherrill in the low post. A good tactic to try to slow down the pace for Vanderbilt as both teams try to get out and run.
Well, Holloway has got the freshman there in the jail cell, and so nice move there from the sophomore Holloway.
Holloway taking his time, getting in that mid-range, putting a defender on his hip, and playing with slow pace.
Carey way off on the three that time, not known for his three-point prowess. Sears drives into the paint, a hard drive. And his sophomore season, he's taken a step forward offensively, as you saw. It's already that Alabama can use to beat you. That's why they're the most prolific. Lift off the bench, couldn't hit that one. Oh, Tyler Tanner, one of the better freshman defenders in America. One up that time by Holloway. He slapped that away from Edwards. Vandy keeps it.
Pulling down 3-on-1. Aiden Holloway getting back on defense and recognizing that he has to make a play. There he is up top with the...
Spins on Amori, fades, left it short. Edwards hit 2 of his first 3 shots, but he's missed the last 3 now. Stevenson for 3.
Nice rhythm three-pointer by Jaron Stevenson.
And maybe some sort of contact from that moment was lingering, so he takes a seat. Nelson goes to work. Grant Nelson. It's a 20-4 Alabama run.
That's a strong drive by Nelson. When he has the mismatch with his positional side playing the power forward, he's able to get some post-up work down low. That's
now 6 different Tide players to score halfway through the first half. A.J. Hogarth, this is the very savvy 5th-year senior. Comfortable lead. Sears had that one deflected, and Mo Diabate gets his team a new 20. Phylon turns the corner, bounces. It's a race for it. Nickel has it. Numbers lob it up, and the throwdown. MJ Collins with the flush.
Great job by Vanderbilt, taking advantage of the turnover for Alabama, turning defense into offense.
And that is their specialty. It's been a part of the identity of this team. One of the better steals per game teams in the nation. Oh, Diabate that time just burns the nation. And that was very much a focal point the last couple of days for Nate Oates and his staff. On the scouting report, great pocket pass that time. McLaughlin finishes. Nickel trying to handle Stevenson that time. Baseline drive, bounce pass to Stevenson. Deflected and nearly taken away by Vandy. Now it's the All-American. Sears steps through.
That's a big-time move right there. Mark Sears with the balance and the ability to stop on a dime, the dribble between the legs and get it up on the glass, phenomenal.
It's a foul on Nelson. Well, that is now a foul, just squeezing through that time. Now on the other side, Floor hit the lone triple that he's taken. Alabama in transition and the flush.
The great recognition. A couple of seconds off the shot, off of the made free throw, shows you the ability that Alabama has to get it out and go.
Sears trying to take it away from Grant Huffman. Maybe a scorer there after 2 seasons. He says, wait a second, I've got some upside here. Hits the transfer portal. The ascension is really inspiring. We're playing 20 years ago. You know, there was great winning 5-year span then. Well, we have seen that in a big way. Nice one at the rim there for Holloway.
Well, there's always going to be a player that when you're a young fan.
Defender, I think it's safe to say in the SEC, you could certainly make a case nationally. He's got one of the higher steals totals in the nation, regardless of age.
Well, this kid has really good defensive instincts, and he's taking on the challenge now, taking on a big-time scorer as Holloway is able to turn the corner and get to the paint. This is the moment where Vanderbilt's going to have to make a surge. They run really good offense, and there's the mismatch right there with Edwards going downhill way to the basket.
Tanner, aggressive. Carey was right there, could not shove it back in. Edwards to the logo. That's strong. Edwards again. Yes, so that time on the second chance he gets it. And so again, every minute is important in a 40-minute game, but particularly the final 4:32 here in the first for the Commodores.
They are, and a great job here by Vander jumping in a full-court press, but the foul drawn there by Aiden.
Nation, really high free throw rate, and Holloway
had a signature win on the road in Gainesville.
That was last week. So first top locked in with the ball fake, could not get it to go. So Vandy has missed a couple of important ones at the rim. Again, it's the length of Alabama. It has been effective. There's Diabate, count it, and the foul. And Mohamed Diabate saying, you can't guard me here.
And that's
Vandy's leading scorer. You know, we heard Mark Byington and the staff preach it today. You just have to get back regardless of what happens on the offensive end. I think this is an obvious foul on Cliff Amore, they whistle a tie in his first half with Vandy down 13. Alabama, fine shooting half. They're 56% from the floor. Holloway from distance, knocks it down.
Great unselfish play.
From distance since a late non-conference play. Tyler Tanner gets free. This is Nickel. Tyler Nickel playing it off of 2 feet. Nicely done that time by the junior.
Strong drive by Nickel.
There's another. Holloway once bringing in the talent, but developing the talent. I think you're right on. It's usually, the team that finishes tops in the league, and that coach is always in the running. And then who are the others exceeding expectations? You want to know who he's
right there. He's hitting his stride here. His second season in the SEC, transferring over from Auburn. Seemed to found a lot of comfort playing in Nate Oates' system, and he answers the bell every night.
Tireless worker, and he is always out here before, after shoot-arounds, getting his shots up. Magnon, this
from 3. At this point, it's like throwing a golf ball in the ocean. He can't miss high efficient percentage when it comes to knocking down shots.
A golf ball in the earlier today and leading up to this game. He wants that offensive rebounding rate to go up. Diabate draws the foul. Frustration there from Men. Earlier today, he calls him an X factor. This staff really view him as an X factor. Top 20 battle, Tennessee and Texas follows at 9 Eastern.
Kenny Brooks has come into Kentucky from Virginia Tech and done a phenomenal job. Georgia Amore, an outstanding guard, but it's the 3 bigs that they have: Clara Strack, Amelia Hassett, and Keani Key. Watch what they're able to do with their play for Kentucky women's basketball.
Yeah, that is a fun doubleheader coming up on Thursday. Final 4 for Virginia Tech a couple of years ago. Kenny Brooks infusing some life into the program, just like, by the way, Mark Pope as well on the men's side. Another one, it's Philon with the latest basket. It's a 48-point first half for Alabama.
The last year that went to the Final 4. They struggled last season playing against marquee matchups in the regular season. This year they continue to schedule tough, and they've been able to win these games and win them in tough environments, playing on the road, playing in neutral sites. That type of stuff will only set you up for big-time games in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, that is the way they do it in Tuscaloosa. 6 seconds here to play here in the half. It's a nice move from A.J. Hogarth. 1 second. Stevenson, the rainbow there, could not get it to go. 17-point lead for Alabama. So this staff, the Alabama way, they prioritize and emphasize, if you've got looks, you don't turn them down. Holloway has not. He has gotten open. His teammates have found him. 58% shooting for the Tide in this first half, and so the percentage, well, I was going to say it was going to go up there.
Continue to stay with the set and run it again, this time with Grant Nelson getting teams shore up the defense.
Yeah, I would underscore that term, execution. They've done it, Alabama, on both ends of the floor, dialed in. So they fall behind 7-2 a couple minutes into the game. Immediately then go on a 20-4 run, and so they have been in command and in control since that point.
If they are able to execute what you've drawn up against, even at his size, when he gets under the goal with shot blockers around, his ability to pivot.
Position for Mark Byington and this program. He has led Vanderbilt in scoring. Can he get hot? And can Vandy get some stops on this end? That's what's more important. Stevenson right over Nickel. That's good.
Really good move by Jaron Stevenson. Comes to the jump stop and takes his time.
That one looked, I think it was partially blocked by Amore. This one is knocked away. Sears has it. Sears, a blur into the front court, collects, draws the foul. Hogarth frustrated. And the ball down, I was blocked out, couldn't quite see it. So Sears, one of the better.
Might have been the magic word said in the technical foul addressed. Last one, A.J. Hogarth had a really good point. I don't know if I felt like that was a foul and go through the hoop with a count over 2,500 points.
Reputation perhaps factoring in there. McLaughlin's 3 is offline. New 20. Magnon has it. Magnon kicks it. Nickel, can he get going? A 3-point specialist. buries the three, his first of the night.
That's huge for Tyler Nickel. You want to see out.
How about Sears here? That one looked like it was on target, but offline just a bit. Here's Hogarth looking to attack. Nickel, same spot. Right wing three is good.
A good shooter, only has to see one drop. Alabama made a mistake early, allowed Tyler Nickel to see one go through, and he's catching fire.
Philon immediately in attack mode on the other end. Philon took the brunt of the contact there and a loose ball foul. Yeah, really reliable perimeter for Vandy. 41% from distance. He's been very consistent. The rebound down to Sears. Philon in transition, wild layup, and an opportunity here for Vanderbilt. They're trying to push here in transition. Nickel wants it. Got another 3 consecutive threes for Tyler Nickel. Half. Magnon, crossover. Magnon, the blow by, but he missed the layup. So he beat Amori to the rim. Could not finish. Here's Diabate in transition. Mo Diabate strong to the basket again.
Ole Miss that can make the game physical. Depending on where you run into them in the season, can make your run much more difficult.
Those aforementioned Rebels and held Alabama to 64.
Well, it's all about matchups, and it's important that you see teams because that's the challenge you have in March.
Okay, McLaughlin's 3 gets it back to
challenge for Vanderbilt.
I missed it. You're right. They reacted as if Diabate wasn't out of bounds, but it's a 10-point game and a new shot clock. Edwards. Oh! Denied by Diabate.
And this is the defensive capabilities of Mo Diabate. Defensively, it's never a mismatch when he's on the defensive end. You have the speedy Jason Edwards trying to put on the gas, but the length of Diabate able to track that one down with the rejection. 7 boards and a block. Does he have a steal here? Boy, he's on a rampage. Youngblood secures it. Youngblood fouled. And so Alabama relentless. How about the... Yeah, you know, I mentioned the rebounds, the block, and the steal. He's also got the 11. Kidding. They have taken now 21 free throws, okay? They've missed 9. Burrell secures the board. A strong one there. He boxes out Carey. Quality box out. Yep. Carey, big body. He has not been that much of a factor inside today. Holloway. Throws it in from distance. Carey had it knocked away by Holloway. The sophomore's got his eyes up. Feeds Sears. One more pass. Youngblood puts it in. And Nate Oates is loving it. Both been ranked inside the top 10. Okay. In any of their historical meetings. Heck, they could be both top 5 programs when they meet. It's going to be must-see TV. And that's a must-see move by Mo Diabate with the step energy. But you're starting to see the development of skill, what he's able to do in so many elements of the game. Youngblood, corner 3, got another. Chris Youngblood. In the last 2 minutes and 12 seconds. And that's just how quickly it can happen. It was a 10-point game. Vandy had possession. And then after a turnover, the run began. McLaughlin for 3, yes. It's a great point there. The system is in space, in pacing. You know, how can you do in your minutes that you're allotted? Youngblood can't hit the 3. Stevenson is going back to the free throw line. Jaron Stevenson has been a very productive day. But they've got multiple on one possession. But it's look no further than just the field goal percentages. To your point, Alabama's about 50. Giving them more confidence. Oh, Holloway, killer crossover. Could not finish it with the leaner that time. Jason Edwards was looking for a streaking MJ Collins. Did not have enough space there. Edwards on the pull-up. So he is into double figures with 11. That was a beautiful move by Jason Edwards. He called for the pick and roll, utilized it, and used that ball fake to freeze the defense to get freed up. Yeah, Youngblood gets his man in the air. That's the 4th foul. Not only just turning on the Jets, it's using the pace, the decelerate. Won European titles overseas. I mean, that's one thing. 4th.
This deficit remains a sizable one for the Commodores. Look out, here's Jalen Carey. Carey would not be denied that time.
And that's an example of the multiple rebounds on each possession. That's the activity of Carey and the physicality of pushing his man up under the boards and getting the tip in.
Lob it up, Amori! Boy, that one when you were waiting for the lob, and Sears finally got free for a moment. Vandy was just late to get back to him, and Amori makes him pay. Past this halfway mark here in the second. The floater drops through. That's Collins. Holloway to the cutter. Amori lost the handle. Youngblood with the effort to secure it, but only 4 to shoot. So Sears has to improvise. Sears squeezes through. Could not hit it. And then there's a loose ball foul on personnel change here for Alabama. In program history. And Richard, they started the season very fair to say as the unequivocal favorites to run it back and perhaps win the SEC once more, just like they did a couple of seasons ago. Phylon got it to go at the rim. They knock off all those impressive teams you referenced in the non-conference. Beat Houston, beat Illinois, on the road at North Carolina, Creighton, Rutgers. The lone losses were at Purdue.
To be the top team in the SEC.
Yep.
The 2 years that he was able to win the SEC.
Vanderbilt. It was the SEC title in 23, the title in 21, and then the Final Four last season. Bounce pass to Diabate. Diabate, count it, and the foul. Someone, Richard, you know, in this system, he can excel. You know, he's all about the, today he's scoring, but, you know, his MO, the X factor, or why he is the X factor is it's the hustle plays, it's the defense, not just on the ball, but, you know, largely speaking defensively. Collins hits that one. And so in this system, which operates like a pro franchise, basically. Edwards wants 3. Collins follows, back to a 14-point game.
MJ Collins starting to get some things going. Nice poise that he showed on the previous possession with the mid-range J, and then the offensive rebound.
Another 3.
Aiden Hall.
The staff has always referred to Diabate as someone who plays with extreme effort and intensity. Comparison I remember they made last year. You know, he could be he's kind of a Draymond Green sort of a guy. He's going to do all the dirty work. He's going to do the tough things underneath. Count that 3, by the way. We've got a 12-point second half, including 4 threes. Could not. Has failed to do so.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if the Commodores have one more push in them. They've been able to get some runs going, and this is the point they got to try to make it happen right here.
That's a foul underneath. It's on Amori.
Shown some press in the second half to try to get things back in their favors on the defensive end.
It feels like right now.
Ball defender Tyler Tanner on Mark Sears.
14-point game coming up on the 6-minute mark, second half. There's the lob. Grant Nelson clear for takeoff.
That's great recognition in that 2-man game. Nelson doesn't set that pick and roll. He realizes the defender is on the same level as him, and he rolls out of there, goes right to the front of the rim in a pinpointed pass.
Yeah, just brilliant stuff for Sears. Now that's 6 assists. Tanner in the paint, goes up with the right. That one falls through.
Strong move by the freshman, taking on a much more mature Mark Sears. Beautiful spin move and balance to finish over the top.
Yeah, the rookie from right outside of Nashville. He has earned his place on the floor in the final minutes of games. That's how much this staff trusts the freshman. Sears to the paint. That's good. Mark Sears with a clever move to get to the pin.
Terrific control. You know, Sears understands he's a strong left-hand driver. He sets you up going to the right, and he's able to get back to the strong hand.
And gets screened here. Tanner inside, cut off by Sherrill. Tanner's open, puts it up, and that 3 is good.
And you get a peek of the freshman's confidence, Tyler Tanner. penetrating, taking what the defense gives him, comes back out and knocks down a 3-ball.
And so Tanner's first points of the afternoon, evening, I should say, are at a pretty, 6 assists now for Sears. 14, and as you duly noted, not long ago.
He knows how to get to the free throw line, and that's where he really punishes you.
Sears keeps a left-hand dribble, flings it to the corner. Nelson going to work. Is that an offensive foul? There's a whistle. Terry Oglesby says we are going to go to the monitor to see if we need to upgrade this to anything.
Yeah, this can potentially be upgraded as Grant.
So this could be a significant turn, perhaps, if you're Vanderbilt. 87% at the line. So he hits the 2 freebies, and the Commodores, 9 blocks for Alabama now today. That ties its season high, and Diabate's got 2 of them. Amori has 4. That's another foul on Mignon.
Downhill. To put your body in front of it or take the foul.
Been exquisite, not just the scoring, where he is a perfect 6 of 6 from the field. He's hit 6 free throws. He's approaching a double-double with the 8 boards, 2 blocks, a steal.
It's an all-around game.
Yep.
And they've been the big plays in the moments to keep Vanderbilt at bay, but that's a situation right there, man, you cannot allow to get open as Tyler Nickel once again getting freed up and knocking down. 12-point game. Good action by Vanderbilt.
5 threes for Nickel today. Diabate answers. Alabama, simply put, has had the answer. It has had the response. Edwards has the feet set and drains the 3. Timeout with 3. Mignon falls to 2-on-1. Tanner's got his head up. Tanner picks up the dribble. Dangerous pass there. And they bounce it down. McLaughlin. Look who's open. This is Hogard. 4-3. And so Vanderbilt has got it back to single digits for the first time since the 4:30 mark in the first half. Boy, they have not folded it up when there have been a lot of chances.
He can take advantage of both teams, putting his head down on the corner.
Sears, 83% at the line. Good form from halfway down and out.
Down and out, and a great design play. I've been so impressed in the money time with how Vanderbilt has been able to dial up clean looks and knock them down.
Sears trying to get the whistle. Sears to what would be a 12th 20-point game. Now
continues to soften up the defense as the foul count surmounts and your top free throw shooter going.
This Alabama team, especially at home, 95 and counting. Nickel, one of his finer shooting days of his career, yet he was way offline with that one. 2 to play.
Vanderbilt is penetrating with the intent to pick out for their outside as Grant Nelson is able to clean up a miss from Sears. They're getting their 3-pointers because they're penetrating, pivoting, and kicking it out to the outside. The drive to the basket is fool's goal.
Tipped around, Alabama has it. 1:40 to play. And a 14-point advantage. Holloway wants to use some clock. And they are in a comfortable position right now with 90 seconds left. Sears to the rack. Yes! It's a 20-point game for Sears. Secure it.
Another rebound there by Mo Diabate for the double-double.
And he wants one more basket. Mo Diabate with a 22-point game, 10 boards, a career performance for the sophomore from Queens. He was relentless, and Alabama has gone over 100 for the 6th time this season.
Man, that move right there by Jason Edwards.
Well, Edwards going to get one more.
I'll get to the free throw line and try to ice the game.
Oh, home run pass here. Touchdown, Grant Nelson. One more highlight.
Excellent play and an excellent throw on the money by Chris Youngblood.
Yeah, it was a little Will Howard-esque. Now, I think Alabama had sunk Vandy a little sooner, but still an accurate pass there. So the Tide will improve to 5-1 in league play. They will stay at the top of this rugged SEC. And so the SEC title favorites coming into the season remain at the top. Their 6th 100-point performance of the year. Sears, Holloway, and Diabate all with 20-point games on a great night for the Tide.
Well, in a game of runs, Alabama made the run when they needed it most, and big performances from their big-time players.